Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Botch Pit. I'm Chris, the librarian of the Botch Pit, and I'm here to cover something different today. As you know if you've been a listener even for the past few weeks, for the most part we've only been covering the Chronicles of Darkness and World of Darkness lines the past few months since we started our quaint little channel. However, in the past 2 weeks we touched on 2 additional game lines, Starfinder and Dungeons & Dragons. While even starting down that road is a huge change, we're going to be adding just one more line to this right now, and it will come to as no surprise that we're going to be covering Pathfinder, namely Pathfinder 2nd Edition launching this August. Though I stated this in the Starfinder introduction, it bears mentioning that Pathfinder was initially based on Dungeons & Dragons 3rd Edition. 3rd Edition was famous for its flaws, being seen as a desperate grab at World of Warcraft players. Paizo, having made popular supplements for Dungeons & Dragons already, decided perhaps it was time for their career to take a far different turn, going from third-party development to first. It was an immense blessing that the D20 system had never been strictly copywritten, and to me that's a massive reputation credit to TSR and Wizards of the Coast. Also, from what I gather, up until that point they had some manner of agreement with Wizards of the Coast, and that agreement, or contract, was coming to an end. One can debate how wise that was for Wizards, not having locked down their eponymous system. Respect is all well and good, but making your margin is another animal. Upon release, Pathfinder knocked Dungeons & Dragons out of its #1 spot for the first time in tabletop role-playing history, and it was not until Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition came out in 2014 in all its fluid glory that it would reclaim said spot. Now, we have Paizo at a crossroads. What do you do when you've been sold as being an improved version of an old and flawed system, and that new system that comes out is close to flawless? Improve your own excellent system, of course. 10 years after their initial debut, we have the approach of Pathfinder 2nd Edition. At this moment, I need to make a very clear disclaimer. Though I've played a few sessions of Starfinder, and I've read up moderately on the books as my friend Scott was so awesome as to send his old collection my way, I've yet to play in or run a Pathfinder game. I wanted to about a year or so back, and I was all geared up to do it, when the news of the playtest for 2nd Edition was on the horizon. I then decided it didn't make much sense to dive into fully, a whole new game, as God knows what will change from 1st Edition to playtest and playtest to finalized product. Having been playing so much of my Zoo campaign in the Chronicles of Darkness, I was looking for something a little more epic in tone to avoid burnout. Escapism from my escapism, as it were. Yet, when I saw the release was due to be sometime very soon after the playtest, I decided to just wait a bit longer and dive in fresh. And truth be told, we at the Botch Pit at the time had little or no intention at all from really deviating from just the Chronicles and World of Darkness lines, as we adore them so. But truth be told, I am absolutely a slave to my ADHD, and here we are. We've gone from gameplay to guides, from Zoo to Hunter, and now onward to working on publications for Paizo with Pathfinder and Starfinder. And now, on to the most important reasons for this recording, the books, and our coverage of them. We're overwhelmingly excited to say, not only will we be reviewing these works, we'll be doing so with Paizo's support as well. We've been recognized as official press by Paizo, and we'll be getting insight on press releases, interviews, and products that we'll be fervently covering. This is a really cool thing, and one that we never saw coming. Thanks to you, the listener, we've been shown respect from White Wolf, Onyx Path, and now Paizo. We'll be hitting these works quickly and in depth, so with all the mushy thanks out of the way, let's take a look at what books are coming out, starting with the core release of Pathfinder 2nd Edition on August 1st. The Pathfinder 2nd Edition core rulebook. Guaranteed to be a monster of a book, the 1st edition ran a meaty 576 pages, certain to be crammed with content and always beautiful art. The Pathfinder 2nd Edition Bestiary. You always need critters and creatures of all kinds to murder and tame along your new adventures. This book contains over 400 of them. Yeah, this is going to be one that you kind of have to have. Pathfinder Lost Omens World Guide. At 136 pages, from what I can tell, they're kind of following the Starfinder publication method. Keep the core book full of all the useful stuff and keep the lore vague, and in the supplement that they sell separately. This will likely be the lore missing from the core book. Pathfinder Adventure Path Hell Knight Hill, Age of Ashes 1 of 6. That is a very large title. This isn't going to be an ongoing adventure, with a softcover volume released every month until completion, chock full of new stats, maps, and adventure for your troop. Pathfinder Adventure The Fall of Plaguestone. Similar to what I just talked about above, the only major difference is this is a standalone adventure, complete with all you need to run a campaign. It's also compatible with Dwarven Forge miniatures and their cool line of miniatures, if that's your cup of tea. Pathfinder Flip Mat. The Fall of Plague Stone. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to figure out what this is. A gridded map for use with the Fall of Plague Stone adventure book. Pathfinder Character Sheet Pack. Don't have a printer? Use this. Moving on. Pathfinder Combat Pad. A turn-by-turn combat navigator used for tracking the turns in combat and initiative. It's a dry erase board for reuse with magnets. Alright, sure, why not? Pathfinder Condition Card Deck. Your character poisoned, mesmerized, or all messed up? Take a card, any card, and save the effort of noting and erasing the condition later off your sheet. And finally, the always requested GM screen, always full of quick reference information for the GM. Pathfinder 2nd Edition is coming bursting out the gate, and expect our nerdy coverage to do the same. We're excited for the opportunities Paizo is presenting us with here, and we are beyond pumped to be experiencing all of this for the first time along with you. As much of the review work for these products won't be available for a bit, keep an ear out for our updates and coverage of Pathfinder 2nd Edition in the pit, and don't forget to subscribe and share if you found this useful. Thank you so much again for your time. We as YouTube creators are a dime a dozen these days, and you chose to spend some time with us, and that's really cool. We just hope we justified it. I'm Chris, Librarian of the Botch Pit, closing out. Have a great night.